This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every bet until you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even if feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every bet until you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even if feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai. This is currently being recorded on a Wednesday, and normally what we've been doing all NFL season long on Wednesdays is doing spread picks for the spread contest. So we've done that for the first 4 weeks of the season, and if you don't remember that contest, that's where every week I have to choose 5 spreads. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get a push, you get half a point. If you don't get any of them right, you get 0 points. And then if I have the most points of everybody at the end of the season, I have $1 million. If I have the least amount of points from everyone at the end of the season, I still get 100K. The thing is that even if the spreads go 0-5, it's essentially still beneficial to me because on either side of the spectrum, whether I have the most or the least, I'm making 6 figures. The problem is it's not really beneficial to you guys, for you guys to see how I'm picking spreads in a contest that like 99.9999% of you are not in. So what I'm doing is I'm switching our Wednesday show from focusing on the spread contest to focusing on something called a teaser. If you don't know what a teaser is, there are videos that I have on this YouTube channel for you, but it's essentially when you're teasing a line, you are choosing an alt line. There is the standard teaser for NFL is 6 points. So I have the AI spread predictor pulled up here for PlayerProps.ai. I don't know if you recognize yet. I'm wearing my Guardians hat. They are facing elimination today in a few hours, and they need me. So I put on the hat. Baseball playoffs are underway. Last night, the WNBA Finals was decided on the 2 teams going, with Las Vegas winning in overtime. So it's going to be Phoenix Mercury and Las Vegas Aces. And now we're knee-deep into the playoffs of the MLB. It's a great time of year. But anyway, back to what I was saying about teasers. So if you do like a 6-point teaser, which is the most common one, a 6-point teaser means that you tease the line. So by 6 points. So what that means is, so if Denver right now on FanDuel is plus 4.5. If you tease, it means you add 6 points to the line. So if a 6-point tease where you have Denver plus 4.5, it becomes Denver plus 10.5. So essentially a teaser is doing a handful of alt lines. Well, you don't have to do a handful, you can do one, but you do a handful of alt lines that add a bunch of points, which makes it easier for it to hit, but the odds are much worse in terms of the payout. So for this show moving forward, I think what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a double up teaser. If you do a 6-point teaser, you typically only need 3 spreads to double up. And what I'm going to do is we're going to find 3 spreads that I really like, and then we're going to, I'm actually going to pull up FanDuel Sportsbook. That's just the one that I know affiliation, just one I'm pulling up. To show you where to find teaser. And then if you don't know how to find teaser on your sports book, then all you have to do is ask us in the Discord, which is why the Discord exists, to ask questions. If you are not 100% sure of everything you need to know on how to use this app, on how to bet on sports, on how not to lose every single bet, there is a community Discord that has over 17,000, almost 18,000 people in it that are more than willing to help you become a better bettor. So the only way that they can help you is if you ask for it. So let us go now and find 3 spread picks for a 6-point teaser that essentially will be somewhere around plus 120, plus 130, a little bit better than a double up. So that being said, I don't know if I would pick anything against Philadelphia. I know Denver had a rout against Cincinnati, but it's Jake Browning. So I also don't like the fact that games that involve the Broncos, the AI is 38.9% accurate, which means the Broncos are hard to predict, or AKA unpredictable. We go one more down. We have the, I almost said Clippers. LAC, man, it means both things. The Chargers and Washington. We still don't know the story on Scary Terry or Jaden Daniels, but even if they're both playing, do I really want to go against Justin Herbert? Seems that offense seems to be clicking on all cylinders. This is another iffy situation. We already know it's like I don't know if it's officially ruled out by the time of this recording, but Lamar Jackson's not playing. I think Baltimore is still a better team than Houston, even if Lamar Jackson is not playing. Was it Cooper Rush? He is not the greatest, but he has a lot of experience, and he also has Derrick Henry to hand the ball off to. I'm going to keep looking. This is one I like. So Tampa Bay, Chris Godwin's back. He's healthy. Mike Evans, I think he might miss this game, but even if he does, I don't think Seattle should be favored in this, even though they're playing at home. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that Tampa Bay is our first one at +3. I like that one. There is no way in the world that we are betting anything that favors the Bengals doing anything other than sucking at the absolute worst. Bengals covering 10.5 against Detroit's high-powered offense. Not touching that. We go one more down. We have Jackson Dart, who won his first career game, versus Spencer Rattler. Now, not only did Jackson Dart win, but Cam Scatterbo, another rookie, is also doing very well, and he is a bulldog. I mentioned this in another episode I did for Week 5, where he's like Peyton Hillis, where he seeks out contact. Like, even if he doesn't have to truck you to get a touchdown, he will find you and truck you to get a touchdown. Like, he wants his brain to be rattled in the cage on every single play. The Saints had a pretty decent game. Last week. They almost had the upset there, since Spencer Rattler seems to be getting a little more comfortable. They also have an amazing running back in Alvin Kamara, but that's pretty much it. Juwan Johnson's not too bad for a tight end. So I actually think... No, well, the Giants did lose Malik Neighbors, though. But was Malik Neighbors even a large part of that win? I think didn't he get hurt like in the second quarter? So, if you remember anything that I've said about spreads or lines or totals or anything, I like NFL scoring numbers. So if we're doing a 6-point spread, and you see right here on FanDuel it says, you see right here on FanDuel it says New York Giants plus 1.5. So if we tease this, if we add this to our 6-point teaser, that becomes New York Giants plus 7.5. So if they lose by a touchdown, which is an extremely common situation in NFL, by losing by 7 points, they can still hit. So I believe in Jackson Dart and the Cam Scatterbo rookie combo here. So we're going to actually do that. So we get Tampa Bay. If we add 6, it'll be Tampa Bay plus 9, New York Giants plus 7.5, and we just need one more. Is there anything else we like more than that? I feel like the Colts are in a good spot here, so I don't really want to touch this one. I also talked about how I really like them in Survivor. Here's another football score for you. So the Cardinals right now, they are favored by 8.5 points over Tennessee. If we tease the 6, which means we're not subtracting, which means they have to win by more, we're adding 6 to make it easier to hit the line. So if you have minus 8.5, what does plus 6 do? I'm waiting on you to do the math in your head before I tell the answer. Minus 8.5, you add 6 to it, what does that number become? It becomes minus 2.5. And what's the best part about minus 2.5 is if they win by a normal football margin of victory, which is 3 points, which means they win by a field goal, this still covers. So we're going to say it's going to be tied, it's going to be a close game, which people don't expect, and then they kick a game-winning field goal, and this covers the minus 2.5. So the only other thing is, do we like anything more than that? Man, Dallas minus 2.5. I have been saying all season long and all last year that Dak Prescott is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. He only gets crap because he plays for the Cowboys and because social media trolls are a thing. Keyboard warriors, if you will. But I know they don't have CeeDee Lamb. They're already favored to win by a field goal, roughly 2.5. So if we add 6 to that, that becomes what? Plus 3.5. So plus 3.5. I'm doing my math right. No, it's plus 4.5. Because plus 4.5, we take away 6 from that, that's 2.5. So yeah, so they can lose by even more than a field goal and still win. So there's 4 that we like. Not touching Miami Dolphins. They're still trying to figure out the Tyreek Hill situation of how their new offense is going to look. The Browns are starting Dylan Gabriel, former UCF quarterback. I expect great things from him, but not touching that as well. So the only other thing I want to look at, so there's 4 we have to pick 3 from. We're not pushing and doing all 4. But the only thing I want to look at is if the Monday Night Football game's up yet. And it is. Jacksonville plus 3. It would be Jacksonville plus 9. No. I don't trust Jacksonville. So, ladies and gents, let us go back to the ones we were looking at. Tampa Bay Giants, Cardinals, Dallas. Tampa Bay Giants, Cardinals, and Dallas. Let's look at our moneyline predictor real quick. Giants are a 53% favorite to win outright. Dallas is a 59% favorite to win outright. Also, both of these are green money lines. Arizona is, I mean, if you get an Arizona line that's like minus 400, this will be green because minus 430 puts it at 0.13. So this could be a scenario where on some books it can be green. And then the only other one we were looking at was what? The Tampa Bay one. It still has Seattle favored 52%. So Tampa Bay essentially has a 48% chance. But I think it would make more sense for us to go with the teams that are favored to win. So I think we're going to get rid of Tampa Bay. So we're going to go Giants, Dallas, Arizona. So here is the FanDuel Sportsbook. I will show you how to find it on FanDuel. If you are using a different sportsbook, just ask us in the Discord and the NFL channels, and we'll help you find it. But on FanDuel, you go to those 3 spreads. So we're tapping plus 1.5 New York Giants. We're tapping minus 2.5 Dallas Cowboys, minus 8.5 Arizona Cardinals. Then we're clicking on the bet slip. Do you see right here where my mouse is going near the bottom of the screen? Teasers and round robins. That is clickable. Bop, click on it. There's a category up here that says round robins. There's a category up here that says teasers. It already highlights the teaser. And the best part is, as I mentioned at the beginning, the default teaser for NFL is 6 points. So it even shows you what the tease does. It was 3.5. My math sucked. I was right on the first time. Sorry, my math didn't suck. My correction on myself sucked. I said 3.5 the first time. So anyway, it takes Giants from plus 1.5 to plus 7.5, which is a football margin of victory score. If the Giants lose by a touchdown, 7 points, which is extremely common, this still hits. Dallas Cowboys go by being favored by a field goal to if they can actually lose to the Jets by a field goal. And if you didn't see Nick Folk against the Dolphins, this man kicked a 58-yarder, and he's in his 100th year of playing in the NFL. He's still got it, so they can easily win by a long-distance field goal. And if they do, Dallas Cowboys plus 3.5 still hits. Arizona Cardinals, they're favored to win by 9, but the 6-point tease brings them down to minus 2.5, which again is a very common margin of victory in NFL. They can win by a field goal and still hit. The only way this loses is if they win by 2, 1, or don't win. The only way Cowboys loses is if they lose by more than 4. The only way this loses is if the Giants lose by more than 8. So that's how this works. And we go down here, and I told you it's going to be about a plus 130. These 3 right now on FanDuel are plus 140. So that's what we're focusing on now for Wednesday shows, which are going to focus on teasers. 6-point teasers, and you can adjust this, but this is the most common number, and this actually helps us for normal margin of victory scores, so I'm not mad about it. But every show is going to focus on 6 because that's common. Don't screw around with it and be like, oh, let's do 5 and get higher payout. You're going to screw yourself. I guarantee it. But yeah, so Wednesdays are now NFL teaser days. Let me know what you think in the comments. Ask any questions about where to find this in the Discord. Good luck, guys, and I will see you on the next episode, which, of course, we record tomorrow for Sunday Night Football. See you then.